Live from South Africa.
The time is just gone 8:35 a.m. We continue with the program this morning. And clearly, I am honored this morning because we say Mubarak, we say congratulations to my guest in studio this morning, Maulana Sheikh Abubakr Thapelo Ahmed, who has now been appointed or newly appointed as a member of the Mayoral Committee, MMC, for development planning in the city of Johannesburg. And sitting right in front of me, Sheikh Abubakr, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam. Should I speak through the mic?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. We should have actually, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, Jazakallah for joining us in studio this morning. And firstly, we must say congratulations to you. Obviously, quite an achievement for you personally, but also it means a lot for the Al-Jama-ah party to be recognized in this manner.
No, shukran.
Assalamu alaikum to you and the listeners. Thanks for warm congratulations. We accept the blessings. Thanks to you and the community of Lenasia, Ward 9, and the residents of Johannesburg at large. Thank you very much.
Yes. Now, obviously, being on the Mayoral Committee for Development Planning in the city of Johannesburg, I mean, what does it actually mean? What does it entail?
It's a great achievement for the party to do the oversight of that department in particular, because that's where the planning of the city is made. It's one of the biggest portfolios in the city of Johannesburg. Town design, planning, making the point that the city looks futuristic, and the development at large, spatial integration, and the likes. Bylaw enforcement, that's where bylaw enforcement is made. Issues of zoning. We have an entity called JDA, which is the Joburg Development Agency, etc.
Well, I think, from what you described, obviously this is a very, very important portfolio. And looking at where we are, as the city of Johannesburg, there's a lot of work that actually lies ahead. Because, you talk about futuristic, and we know that, we're talking about world-class cities, we're talking about green cities. And recently I did an interview where we're looking at this whole concept of being environmentally friendly, green, and the like as well. And Joburg being the hub of the economy in South Africa, this is absolutely important. This is absolutely crucial that, this particular portfolio, as that obviously you have been appointed as a member of, would function optimally. And I think more importantly, in terms of adding value to the city in general.
True that we need to add value to the city, stimulate the economies of the city, attracting investment. So the approach has to be vertical parallel and parallel, because vertically you need to develop the city internally. Parallel is for you to add value, to create a value proposition for investments. You need to create partnership so that you spearhead services and the development of the city at large. Talking of the green economy, green housing, green, the safer cities through the development planning. Those are the channels that we can envisage as we are leading, and we are quite confident that we're going to achieve a milestone.
Yes. Now, just look at it from the Al-Jama-ah perspective, and I know last week we spoke to Imran Musa, and he was obviously extremely elated at being elected with the by-election that had taken place in Lenasia. And for long, we obviously, many used to question the role of parties like Al-Jama-ah party, saying that, it is an exclusive party and it is a party for a section of the community or a section of society. But it does appear with this appointment of yourself that parties like Al-Jama-ah party are being recognized, because it's not only about a party, it is about the individual, it is about the person, it is about the capacity that Al-Jama-ah can create, for people to be appointed to certain positions so that they are able to contribute meaningfully?
So, from our point of view, as a point of departure, let me create a citation. You look at N12 when you drive towards Lens. There's a mushrooming of informal settlement. And when those people there, because they've contravened the bylaws of the city, for argument's sake, so when they are going inside the established residence of Lenasia, they are going to probably steal electricity, maybe illegally connect water, and somebody has to pay the estimates on behalf of those people who are anarchists, people whom their aim is to make the government ungovernable. So those, in my view, those people wouldn't say this is a Muslim and this is not a Muslim, therefore we are connecting, right? So when the community is affected, Al-Jama-ah has to represent the community at large. It doesn't represent a person who's a Muslim, a person who's a non-Muslim. When there's a pothole, when you're driving through the roads, the pothole doesn't shift and say, I'm mooring a Muslim and I'm not going to moor this particular individual. So we represent the community. We are the voice of all communities. We are a direct representation of the city residents and the residents of Ward 9 at large.
Well, definitely. And I think the key issue here is a recognition of the fact that, I know obviously with the winning elections is one thing, but also recognizing that the party has got a contribution to make.
Yeah, the party has a direct contribution. Remember, we are sitting at the Hang municipality. So if Al-Jama-ah is one of the parties that would decide that, no, we are not in a coalition, the government is questionable. There wouldn't be stability in governance, and that doesn't only affect politicians, but it affects the residents. The service delivery will be frustrated in that process. Yeah, so we play a meaningful role in making sure that the government is stable.
Right. Now, just being in local government, and perhaps you could just enlighten me and just tell me in terms of this relationship, what sort of relationship does Al-Jama-ah enjoy with the bigger parties, and particularly, when you talk about coalition politics and coalitions in government as such, whether it's local government or at national level as well. At the end of the day, the key issue here is Al-Jama-ah could be key deal breakers as far as coalition politics go.
We do not aspire any material benefit or any material gain from government. If you remember, when I came in as a councillor, my predecessor was who was in Al-Jama-ah. He was in a coalition with the DA, who went beyond the party line, and then he was recalled apparently. And then I went in. I worked with the ANC in opposition. I sat with the ANC on opposition bench, and at the time the ANC wasn't in government, so there isn't any material gains. We make sure that we agree with the ANC on issues of principle. We know that in the dispensation of 94, the ANC has developed a progressive constitution which is inclusive, and also we have a direct representation as a community, whichever community that you are belonging to. You have a direct representation in the progressive constitution of the country. So me personally, as a Muslim, I can freely practice my religion. As a Muslim, I can walk wearing a kurta. I can stop in a mall and pray. I can stop in a park and pray. It is inclusive. So those are the principles that we are adhering to with the ruling party. So hence why even when the coalition, from the inception of the coalition, we didn't find our expression. We supported the ANC through and through, even if we didn't get this portfolio, because there was an arrangement to say, okay, the ANC will take 5 because they are a party that has an experience, and then we leave 5 to the minority. So minority parties, not all the minority parties got the expression to be on an executive post, but the discussions was underway from the inception of the coalition. One of the parties, the ANC terminated the relationship with them, and then Al-Jama-ah had found its own opportunity to get its expression and represent the community at large.
Yes. And I think another important aspect, Sheikh Abubakr, is this obviously is a milestone
It is.
that has been achieved.
Alhamdulillah.
And it augurs well for Al-Jama-ah party going forward.
Alhamdulillah.
Because, when one looks at a lot is likely to happen over the next year or so, particularly when one looks at local government and keeping an eye out on local government elections.
True.
And this is exactly what communities are looking for. They are looking for people, they are looking for personalities that are able to deliver on services rather than look at party politics and the shenanigans that we see going around at a national level, whether we're looking at corruptions or factionalism. But these are day-to-day issues. These are bread and butter issues that communities are faced with. And they look for the best person. So irrespective of which party the person comes from, at the end of the day, they want their day-to-day issues to be taken care of.
True that. True that. I agree with you. It is commendable what you've just said, because we need credible leaders. We don't need partisan. We don't need people who are factional, because factions are as a result of people eyeing greener pastures in that space. Maybe, I do not know, but we want people who are credible, people who would put the best interest of the community ahead of their aspirations. Because if I came in as a counselor in Al-Jama-ah, I worked. Alhamdulillah, I was appointed as a chairperson of governance oversight committee. So my role was doing oversight on the office of the executive mayor, which is the political space, and the executive, the city manager, which is the administrative space. So I worked, I pushed. Alhamdulillah, my work was commendable until the executive mayor, because it is his prerogative to say, in this vacancy of executive in the MACOM, the Mayoral Committee, I think Al-Jama-ah could also contribute directly with the ideas. They need fresh ideas, and that's it. Inshallah, we are taking the baton and moving with it, inshallah.
Well, inshallah, now that, obviously you've achieved this milestone personally and for the party as well, looking ahead at the party, I suppose, you will obviously use this as a stepping stone to grow the party and possibly even look at what you've achieved here and trying to obviously achieve elsewhere as well. But I think the key issue is obviously, I know your profile, and we speak very, very highly of your profile.
Shukran.
And alhamdulillah, we've had our interaction with you for a very, very long time. And I suppose, this is what parties like yourself need to do, is find the caliber of people like yourselves to basically grow the party and go forward.
Shukran. I'm humbled. I can't take that away from the community and the support of people like you. The Salam media has been supporting us through and through. The party grows gradually, but in us growing, we also make it a point that our communities comes first. We look after our community because that's a core mandate of the political party. As an activist, the only difference is that I'm an activist who worked within I'm within framework of the legislature, but that doesn't take away my role as an activist in the community. So we are humbled by the communities and the people who have been supporting us, who have been giving us strength whenever we're going down. It's life. Sometimes, that's how life is. So we are greatly humbled, and thanks to the communities of Lenasia for taking the sole responsibility and giving us the mandate to carry through, and also making the point that the city of Johannesburg is stable, and not only for them but for the entire city of Johannesburg in various communities which are clustered in the city of Johannesburg. City of Johannesburg has 135 wards. So through this ward of Ward 9, the rest of 134 wards, it's stable. They will get their expression in terms of service delivery.
Well, I must say Jazakallah to you once again for coming out and taking time off and coming here and talking to us. And once again, we congratulate you on the appointment, and inshallah, Allah make it easy for you.
Ameen.
Allah makes the job easy for you. And I think more importantly, inshallah,
Ameen.
Allah give you the strength, the ability, and the health to serve the community, which you have been doing so
Ameen.
well until now.
Shukran.
Inshallah.
Allah bless.
I mean, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
It's joining me in studio this morning has been Sheikh Maulana Abubakr Thapelo Ahmed, the newly appointed member of the Mayoral Committee, MMC, for Development Planning in the city of Joburg.